Hello everybody, welcome to another video. For those of you that go outdoors and use OS maps, especially the 1 in 25,000 scale ones, you may have come across such words as tumuli and tumulus. Now, over the next couple of days, I'm going to do a wild camp tonight, but over the next couple of days I'm going to visit a few in my area. And on this video I want to explain a little bit more about them and what they was used for and that kind of thing. So I've got a bit of a hike up this hillside to the first one. It's not a very good example of one, I must admit, but nonetheless we'll take a look. So let's crack on with the video. So what does a tumulus look like? Well, I'm stood on top of one. This one's quite small. It's about 10 metres in circumference. It's raised, it's man-made, and tumulus is a Latin word which actually means just mound. So this particular one is thought to be a burial mound. This one's a tumulus, so tumulus means many. So many burials here. And tumuli, if you see tumuli on the maps, it means just singular, just one burial. They're often found on high points of land. This one commands a view of the sea, and I'll bring you now for a closer look. Okay, so as you've seen, that one is on a hillside. It's an earthen mound. The period of tumuluses and tumuli are from the Neolithic period through the Iron Age into the Bronze Age. Unless an archaeological dig has been done at these sites in the past, I'm not particularly sure of the ones that I'm visiting if any digs have been done, apart from the very last one that I'll be visiting. So I can't really say what date it is, but they're from kind of that kind of era, the ancient world. They served many purposes. Some was used as burial sites, some was used for religion and ritual purposes. But like I say, that one is thought to be a burial mound. Some of them are very simple affairs, just a simple mound. Some of them can be quite large, as you'll see later on in the video. So we're going to walk through some ancient woodland now. It's going to be about half an hour till I hit the next tumuluses, and they're on private property, so I'm going to have to seek permission to see if I can get access. So come along with me and let's have a look at some more. So I'm just following this bridle way. I'm using the map on these next two tumuli. They are in private property, like I say, so I'm going to see if I can get access to them. They're on this side of the path, or the bridle way. Some of these bridle ways are ancient in themselves, so it doesn't surprise me that there's a couple of tumuli situated not too far away from this particular one. Right, I'm pretty much where the map says the tumulus should be. Just scanning the horizon, obviously you can see that there's no lumps and bumps, nothing giving it away. It is possible that the farmers ploughed it in the past and now there's no remains of it at all. But not to worry, we'll go on to the next one. Ooh, pretty heavy bag, that, guys. can hear the buzzers in the background, that's always nice. Yeah, so them two, it was an outside chance of me actually finding them. I couldn't find any property to knock on the door and ask, can I get into the fields, but there were sheep in the fields anyway, so I didn't particularly want to go and disturbing sheep. Yeah, so that's the way it is. Sometimes these monuments have been ploughed into the ground, nothing remains of them, then they're grazed over, lost forever. I mean, them two was an outside chance in all fairness, but that's the way it goes. So this next one, it has also been ploughed in the past, so it would have been a lot taller. That's if I can find it, hopefully I can. There's a shoot going on as well today, so hope I don't disturb them, but yeah, we'll see if we can find this next one. This next one's a round barrow, or a round tumulus. It's on the map as a tumulus, but it's probably a round barrow. So I'm going to have a quick 5 minutes here, something to drink, and then we'll crack on. Right guys, it's ridiculously windy up here, which means the next one that I'm going to visit is going to be even more ridiculously windy. I hope from them few clips you've just seen there you could make out that there's a ditch all around this one. This one's about 20 metres in circumference. This one is known as St Elmo's summer house, and there's a reason for that, because there actually used to be a summer house on this site. The clip with where you saw the stones on top, right on top with the sunken pieces of slabs concrete, that was the foundations for the actual summer house. Years and years and years ago, probably in the Victorian times. It's unsure why it's called St Elmo's, but you can actually see the sea from here. So one possibility is it's an associated name with St Elmo's fire, which is associated with ships' masts. When there's electrical storms, you get this glow around them, which is called St Elmo's fire. So that's one possibility. The other possibility, it could be named after an actual saint. But yeah, this one is definitely a tumulus, or a burial mound. So there's multi-burials here. So yeah, it's absolutely, unfortunately I couldn't, stand on top and do a bit of filming. It just blow the camera over. It is pretty windy. There you go. It's just blowing the camera over. Right, so yeah, it's just blown the camera over. So let's not muck about, let's get on to the next one. The next one is absolutely huge. If it's too windy, I might go up it, but the camera's going to go again. Right, so it's absolutely stupidly windy. Let's get off here. Let's go to the next one, which is even larger. It's going to be even more windy up there, but that's where I'm having my camp anyway, so let's wrap it up before I damage the camera. Right, folks, I'll give you a quick update on the story so far. Basically, it's blowing a hoolie up at the cairn, so I can't really show you that today. It'd be just futile of me to try and make a video in them kind of winds. So I've come down the hill into the woodlands from it, and it's baffling against the wind, so we're all right just here. Doesn't seem to be ripping through too much. Just on the ridge line at the top there, where the woodland starts, you know, they're like matchsticks, they're all ready to go quite soon. So we're just going to make camp here for the night. I've noticed there's a couple of tree trunks over there which is birch bark, so I'll harvest some of that, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Right, so what I tend to do, guys, is pitch my Lavvu halfway and then put the centre pole in. I know what you're all thinking, I'm in the woods, I could have got a stick from the woods, couldn't I, to use the centre pole, but I like bringing my own. Helps with, as a walking stick as well. So I'll get it to about that, and then I put the centre pole in, because I find sometimes it pulls the pegs out if you don't get it quite right. So let's get this in here, right at the top. It's out of the way. And then I'll peg the rest of it out and just shimmy it around a little bit until it's exactly as I want it. So I'll probably find now that that needs to be pulled back a little bit. Everything needs to pull forward a little bit. But that's how I do it. Somewhere close. Right, so I've gone for a slightly different configuration with the magic carpet. This time I've got the actual centre pole on it. Just allows me a little bit more dry space to work with. This is off my cot bed. It's a piece of canvas that stops any twigs coming through, hopefully, and doesn't doesn't puncture my my air mattress. So it's slightly different, yeah. For you guys that have just joined me on YouTube and you've not seen any of my other Lavvu videos, check out, I'll put a link in the description, the best Lavvu on YouTube. Shows you how I've modified this, put windows in, because obviously we're in winter now. If it was peeing it down now, I'd want to be in here cooking away, doing stuff, be out of the rain, but still have the last little bit of light without it all dropping through, you know, an open door. They both don't need to be open, but an open door. So I've put 4 windows in here. I do cook in here. I've got plenty of ventilation. There's 2 massive ones at the back, which I'm just going to sort out in a minute. 2 massive ventilation holes at the back. There's one at this side as well. I did used to have a log burning stove in here, so yeah, all is good. So now I'm just going to get my self-inflating mat, and my sleeping bag, as always, is the Jura 2 sleeping bag, the Jura 2 sleeping bag. So get all that whacked in here. Doesn't feel like there's that much of a slant. I think we'll be all right, but I can have the bush box in here. Got some alternative fuel, I've said that once already, so I'll be showing you what alternative fuel I'm using. But primarily I'm going to be cooking on the Primus gas stove tonight, the Express Spider. Right guys, so I just thought I'd tell you the way that I do things nowadays. So the sleeping bag goes in one dry bag. I don't compress it down, it just gets shoved in there. Then I compress all the air out of the dry bag and just do it up as normal. Food is in the green, I think that's a Carrymore SF dry bag, that one. The ground sheet, the nylon ground sheet, the one that's the DD Magic Carpet XL, just goes in one of these kind of dry bags. There's a little bit of cordage in there as well. The canvas cut ground thing that I use, that doesn't go in a dry bag at all, that just goes in the bottom of the rucksack. Then everything else goes in one dry bag, and then I just pull the whole lot out. Obviously I keep things separated in other bags. For example, in this bag is all batteries, that kind of thing, electronic stuff, just to keep it all together really. So I thought I'd come and get some of this birch bark. It's probably that damp it's not had a chance to dry out. I've not really got a bag that I can put it in either. So here's a really good example of a Birch Polypore. It is past its best, this one. I've just tried to cut a little square out of it to make a plaster to demonstrate that, but it's just too spongy. It's had its heyday, that. Not too worried about damaging a polypore like that because it's a dead tree. I know it's part of the ecosystem of the woods, but there's plenty more around here. So not too worried about that. So I did quite well there. I've got more than a good handful of birch bark. I actually found the log where it was coming off quite freely. Some of it is a little bit woody, very damp. Some of it's okay. Yeah, let's put it in a dry bag. Then it's not going to get everything else wet through, is it? So here's my dry bag for my pots. Just a standard Carrymore one. The pots should dry out for tomorrow anyway, by tomorrow, so by the time I leave, should I say, I'll have a brew in the morning obviously. You can always go on the outside of me rucksack, the smaller pot. Alright, so let's get all that in there. So you have to harvest these things when they become available to you. You know, that's the only, in this pouch is the only bit of birch bark that I actually own, so now I've got a big bag of it as well. Right, so I'm getting hungry, guys, basically, so tea time. So all I'm going to use is the Primus stove. Done reviews on this stove in the past. Brilliant little stove, Primus gas, winter gas. This one go down to -22. I'm not going to explain everything, but it gets preheated in this coil, the gas, and burns it more efficiently. You can also turn these bottles upside down and just use the liquid out of them. So I've got my pot. Tonight we're having chili con carne. That's breakfast for tomorrow. So we've got chili, 2 bags of boil in the bag rice. So this is just something I've made myself. Leave it in that bag, put that in there with a bit of water. That'll heat that through, and then these only take 5 minutes, so I'm going to put them in last minute kind of thing. They do have perforation holes in these bags of rice, which means that I either have clean the pot out and use fresh water because the water's going to be kind of starchy from the rice, or I have a rice flavoured cup of coffee. I preferred the first version, to be honest with you. So we're not mucking about tonight, guys, with the gas. Everything's to hand, so just get the water, put the water in the pots. Don't know how much water I'm actually going to need. Put about 3/4, something like that. Whack that on there. Like I say, and then I'll just put the rice in a bit later on. Only takes 5 minutes to rice, so I wonder if I can get 2 bags in there. Yeah, I should be able to. So that's tea sorted out. Got in here, I've got tomorrow's breakfast. We've got sausage, bacon, eggs, all kinds of things in there. That's on one side. So we're going to need some wipes probably. I've got some noodles as well if I feel peckish later on. Got some Chinese 5-spice. That was going to use that with the noodles. In this little bag I've got vinegar, tomato sauce, and a bit of salt and pepper in that one. These are just buy from Poundland. Absolutely fantastic, do the job. Last year a couple of trips, so I had tomato sauce I think I topped up about 3 weeks ago, but I do use quite a lot of that. Also in here I've just got, these are the coffees I use, 3-in-1s from Poundland, get about 12 of them for £1. So we need one of them out. So I've got 3 of them. Noodles, blah blah blah. Sounds like something spooked all the pheasants. Right guys, I don't know exactly how much you heard of that, me waffling to myself, not realising that the LED on the camera was that dim that you couldn't actually see me. It's only because I reviewed the footage that I noticed it. So basically I've got my chili con carne in my pot, 2 bags of rice in there. That should be still a little bit too warm yet. I've boiled, not boiled, but I've heated up the water for my brew, that's in there. Ziploc bag that the rice came in, I'm just using as a bin bag at the moment. So yeah, I'm just waiting for it all to cool down. So one thing I didn't tell you about the tumulus and the tumuli, is that not only do they get ploughed over, and they've been ploughed over for millennium, some of them, that's how we lose them, but they're always on DOS maps, on the 1 in 25,000 scale anyway. But in Victorian times, the rich, the wealthy, let's say, their pastime, some of them, was to go barrow digging. So as I've already said, a tumulus or a tumuli are also known as barrows. So yeah, they used to go and dig them up, you know, and get the artifacts out of them and all that kind of thing. So half the time, if you're wondering, oh, is there any bodies still under there, or is any, I don't know, you know, precious metals or arrowheads or anything like that, then more often than not there isn't, because in the Victorian times it was a pastime. It was, you know, just like going to the gym or playing football or whatever. So that's one of the things that they did, barrow digging. Right, I forgot to tell you that. Let's try a bit of this chili then. Hey, it's not bad. It's going to be very stodgy because I've put 2 bags of rice in there. But I've never done boiling the bag rice when I've been camping before, so I didn't know what it'd do to the water. I had a slight feeling that it would make the water very starchy. But like I say, when you're camping, water is a premium. That's 1 litre, we're down to about that much, and that's just brewing up and making this. I've not even drunk any of that. So yeah, water's a premium, so yeah, you can let it cool down, wash your hands with it, have a shave with it, all that kind of thing before you discard it. If it comes to the crunch, yeah, I would make me brew with starchy water. It's all food at the end of the day, so but yeah, I prefer option number 1. Let's have a nice cup of coffee. Perfect temperature. Right, you don't want to watch me scoff all this lot, so I'll bring you back in a bit. So this is an alternative fuel that I've found. These are firepower fire logs. Buy them from Poundland. You light either end, they burn for 2 hours. They're designed to start kind of log stoves in domestic situations in your house, log burners, that kind of thing, or outside fire pits, that kind of thing. That's what they're designed for. You just light them in, the burn for 2 hours, and then you just put more logs on top, more normal logs. But I found they do work with the bush box. What I do is cut them down into slithers, just burn it little bit by little bit. Sometimes I'll use a little bit of the paper to start it off. They do chuck out quite a lot of heat. I've burnt these in the Lavvu before, which I'll be doing tonight. Just one door closed, the other one open for ventilation and for an escape if I need to. The first thing that'll go is my camera, and then it'll be me behind it holding it. Everything else, that's it. Everything else is kind of replaceable, if you like. Yeah, so they give out a lot of heat. They're quite bright, and there is a smell of kind of a petroleum-based chemical that they use in here. Not sure what it is. It doesn't actually say on the packet what they're made out of. As far as cooking is concerned, yes, you can use it for cooking. Put your pots on there, but be aware it soots everything up. I mean, proper black soot. I did it with my frying pan, right mess. I've done it with my little bush pot, right mess, you know. If you want to clean it in your sink, make sure it's a stainless steel sink. Don't use an enamel one because it'll just stain it black for life, and you'll get told off by your missus. Yeah, so I'm going to have a little bit of a go in there. It is getting quite cold now. They've said on the news it's going to go down to about 2 or 3 tonight. Hence that's why the gloves are still on. My extremities are a bit cold, my fingers are cold and my toes are cold, but my body temperature's alright. So I'm going to close one of the doors, leave the other one open, like I say. Yeah, so let's give it a go. So you can see the door there, that one's now closed, this one here. I've still got one open there. It's probably about 2 foot away from the edge of the Lavvu there. Plenty of room above it. So this is quarter of a block that I've just chopped up, sorry. So I've still got another full block to go at, which is why my rucksack was so heavy. A couple of safety precautions first. Have a pot grabber, so if I do need to move it in an emergency or everything, if it ever gets out of hand, lift it up, take it outside, as easy as that, done, chuck it, you know what I mean, or even just chuck it out the door. And have some water available. There's a little bit in here, it's probably enough to put that out if need be, but I have got more water to hand, so just keep that very close to us just in case. So I've chopped it into kind of blocks like that. I usually start it off with one block like that in the bottom, and then I'll judge it if these need to be snapped in half, how it's doing. So I'm going to move that out of the way. We could always use a bit of paper in there as well. I try not to use too much paper, because obviously paper creates a lot of ash. So a little bit of paper in there of the packaging. Let's move that out of the way. Gas is well out of the way as well, by the way, guys. So here's a little bit of the birch bark that I got before. Let's see if we can get this going. Might be a little bit damp. Yeah, it's probably a bit too damp. And I know I should rough it up a little bit. So let's try a little bit of paper and whack that in there. Let's get all that in there. Right, so I've just used a little bit of my birch bark, my dried birch bark, and some of these little matchsticks of tinder that I had. And once it gets going, guys, you'll see the difference. There'll be no smoke at all. So like I was saying, yeah, if you're going to cook direct on your flame, I wouldn't recommend this. Bushcraft Essentials with their bush boxes recommend that if you're using the grill plate that goes on the top and you're cooking you're cooking on direct heat, that you only use natural materials, twigs, or kind of the wood pellets. And that's, you know, that's what I'd go with. I wouldn't use petrochemicals or your Esbit stove or anything like that if you're going to cook direct on the flame. Right, so a moment ago we had a little bit of a pitter-patter of rain. Good news, that it started beading down the Lavvu, so it appears that it's still waterproof, but we could really do with a bit of decent rain to test it properly. But yeah, if it's beading, generally means that it's still waterproof. More cooking. I'm going to do some bacon. Just let me move that stove out the way. Yeah, so I said before I was carrying vinegar. I wasn't, I'm lying. I'm actually carrying some cooking oil. Don't need much of it though to do bacon. I want a little bit of a slant there, aren't I? So never mind. Right, so we've got I've got some of this bacon from, where did I get this from? Iceland, I think it was. And the good thing about this is that they sell it, you don't get millions of slices, you know what I mean? I think there's about, what, probably 6 slices in this lot. This is a smoked variety. So I'm going to get my bacon going first. Might as well cook it all and then get rid of the packaging. I've got some sort of sausages for tomorrow, so yeah, 6 or 7 slices. Just this stuff, so get rid of that over there. I've got some wraps, 6 white wraps there. A little bit of tomato sauce, a couple of eggs. You want to smell it in this Lavvu. Bloody lovely. Let's try and get this crisped up a little bit. Right, this is the bit where it gets a bit technical. What I'm going to do is move the bacon out of the way. Obviously the main part of the heat's there in the centre. I'm going to try and crack the egg with one hand. First one's a good one. Oh yes. Now we just need to balance it right so they cook. Right, let's see if I can flip them. Probably not, because they're still a little bit raw on top. But I get to use my new spatula. Oh yes. First one done. Sorry if my arm's in the way, folks. Master Chef here. There we go. Whack them on there. It seems to have gone a little bit. Right, I'll just leave it like that. Precariously balanced. Right, I've just switched out the frying pan for some water to make a brew with. Just had to replace the battery in the camera. Right, so what we're going with first? Bit of bacon, got my wrap bread here. I've got 3 wraps out, so I could probably do bacon and egg on one for starters. Definitely getting ready for a new frying pan. Alright, a little bit of tommy sauce. Well, you see, it saves bringing bread or baps, doesn't it? Because these you can't flatten anymore. That's why I kind of use them. Right, how are we going to do this? Roll it underneath there. Who cares as long as it goes down my neck? Oh yes, like a burrito. Nice little bit of supper. That's done. Let that cool down a bit. Living the dream, guys. I watched MasterChef the other day, they got knout on me. Right, okay guys, so I've only got one little thing to report, and that is, you know, I was saying about the fire blocks in the stove. Not only do they soot your pots and pans up, but they soot your inside the Lavvu up as well. I noticed about an hour ago that there's soot inside the Lavvu, which is going to cause problems basically if you rub against it. So this is probably going to have to go through the washing machine now, or be cleaned somehow. Maybe I can towel it down in the garden or something, get rid of most of it. So yeah, they're not ideal, they're not brilliant. They throw off a lot of heat, but they soot everything up. Not only your pots and pans, I've just found out they soot your Lavvu up as well, and the centre pole at the top, and the wind-up torch. So yeah, I'm going to look for an alternative kind of thing that's a bit cleaner, that does exactly the same thing basically. Something that just burns clean and comes in a block. That's the best way I can put it. Any ideas, guys? Leave some comments below. It's getting a bit late now. It's about 11:15, so time for hitting the sack. Nothing else to report other than that, so I'll see you all in the morning, guys. Right, just a quick one before I actually hit the sack. For those people that have watched the best Polish Lavvu video and any other subsequent ones and commented about the windows, as you can see, it's been raining quite heavy, and there's no drips anywhere, nothing, no regress or egress, water egress I think it's called. So it's the same on all of them, so I've done a good job with them. There's the back windows, there and there. So yeah, no leaks anywhere, and it's been raining quite heavy. So there we go, guys, the windows do work. Right, good morning everybody. I've pretty much packed up. The soot actually isn't that bad in there, but what I intend to do in the future is do a video about gear maintenance and that kind of thing, so I'll feature how I deal with that little problem on a future video. Today we've got a storm coming in, so it's probably about 8:30 now, so I do really need to get cracking with this video. It does sound like it's quite windy up at the cairn still, so I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to go up there, see if I can actually film anything, if only to tell you a little bit about it and show you the size of it. But this isn't a tumulus, this is a cairn. No burial site has ever been found there, but we found arrowheads, or arrowheads have been found there, should I say. So it is Neolithic, that cairn. So basically I'm going to get packed up with the Lavvu. Everything else is packed up in the bag. There's a cave that I want to visit. Again, virgin territory. I don't know how big this cave is or whatever. And there's one more tumulus that I want to take a look at. So I'm going to get cracking, get packed up, and I'll see you on the next bit of the video. So here we are at the cairn. Like I say, it's not a burial place this. Just a bit lower down from it there's a cave where 14 skeletons was found. An axe, arrowheads was found down there as well. But I'm not going to go down there today. Like I say, I've done a video on this area already. I'll put a card up here and a link in the description so you can watch that video. This was man-made. It's the second largest one in the UK and the first largest cairn in Wales. So in 1886, an archaeologist called William Boyd Dawkins did an excavation at the top of here and found arrowheads. No human remains, but found arrowheads, which was carbon dated, and it put it slap bang in the middle of the Neolithic period. So although it's not a tumulus, it is of that era. So I'm not going to go up there today. Again, it's a little bit breezy, and we've got other things to be filming. So I'm going to make my way down to this next cave now. Right guys, so I found the caves. Looks like it's got a metal gate to stop anybody getting in. Not very spectacular at all, but it does look quite deep from where I'm stuck. Not going to risk going down there. Just in a little bit of a kind of a scrap of land here. Was it used in the Neolithic period or the Bronze Age? I'm unsure. It's just marked on the map as a cave. Right, so let's get out of this farmland and go and see if we can find this other tumulus. So I found the other tumulus. You can just see it in the middle of the picture. Just looks like a little bit of rough ground just there. The problem is that the road that leads to it is knee deep in kelp manure, so there's no way I'm going to trek through that. Maybe come back in the summer and check that one out. But it looks quite a good size, that one. So yeah, at least we know that one exists. Just come a little bit higher up on the road. You can just see it, just in that corner where that telegraph pole is. So yeah, like I say, it's very boggy to get to it. There's only one footpath that leads to it. Looks like it might be fenced as well, so I don't even know if we can actually get to it. But yeah, we'll come back in summer when it's all dried up a little bit and check that one out. Right, so as you can see, I'm near civilization now. I do love this part of my area. It's absolutely stunning views of the North Wales coast. So that concludes this video, guys. Hope you found it enjoyable and educational. Thank you very much to my new subscribers and to my old subscribers as well. Please continue watching me. If you're new to the channel, please consider giving me a subscription. Press the little bell icon and you'll be notified every time you upload a video to YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. If you're going to give me a thumbs down, go to the shop, buy yourself something nice, come back in a better mood and give me a thumbs up. Leave some comments below, all that kind of jazz. I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.